It's been 61 days since I quit benzodiazepines, and I don't feel like my cognition is fully bounced back, but I have come such a long way. Now, 2 months of full sobriety. I quit weed a few days before quitting benzodiazepines. This was truly the best decision that I've ever made in my life. Hands down. It caused me to seek psychiatric help to see what was wrong with me, and turns out that I have been living with undiagnosed ADHD for 28 years. So now I'm on ADHD medication, and that has honestly had such a positive impact on my life. I chose Elvance for the ADHD medication, which is also known as Vyvanse in the States, and I chose that because it has the least addiction, at least potential for abuse out of the ADHD medications that are stimulants. I think there's
basically timed release D-amphetamine. Okay, this is important because I think a lot of people think that Adderall, which again is D-amphetamine and L-amphetamine, and those two things operate quite a bit differently at the level of norepinephrine and epinephrine and cardiac versus brain effects. A lot of people think Vyvanse is just slow release Adderall, but it is not. What Vyvanse is it's D-amphetamine only, but in time release form. And Vyvanse was actually developed as a way to try and get around, or rather prevent, some of the abuse potential of Adderall and other drugs that contain D-amphetamine.
It's also non-stim medications, but I felt like I've needed a stimulant medication for me to be able to focus, because I have used Concerta in the past, prescribed by another psychiatrist when I was 15, not for ADHD, just to study for exams, which was a little bit of malpractice on their part. I'm not going to go into that because I've already covered that in a previous video. But I'm so blessed that this medication works, and I think I found my dose as well, which is 40 milligrams, because it's given me the ability to focus for the first time on things that I'm interested in, specifically academia. I've honestly found a new passion, a new love for programming. I'm currently doing a Python for Everybody course. I'm also doing another online MOOC to get university credits, because I want to apply to university next year to study computer science. So I've really developed a love for learning, and it's crazy because in the first few weeks, man, I was struggling. I'm still struggling, to be honest, the further I progress. But I was struggling to understand and comprehend the concepts, and I was frustrated. I was like, oh man, this is so hard. But I just kept on showing up. I've just kept on showing up, and it's just getting easier. It's getting easier and easier. I'm understanding more and more, and it's such a beautiful feeling when you're struggling with a concept, and then it all of a sudden, it just clicks, and you solve the problem, and you do hand in the assignment, and you figure out the solution to the problem. And you, like writing code, it's beautiful. It's honestly such a character building experience, for lack of a better word. And I'm falling in love with programming. So this is something that I think I can see myself doing for the next few years, and maybe even the next few decades, or the rest of my life, to be honest, because I'm finally passionate about learning. And I've struggled with academia my whole life. Not every single subject, but yeah, I've struggled with academia, and I've struggled with long-term sustained focus. So now being diagnosed with ADHD is the best thing that's happened to me. And through programming as well, I'm training my mind to have more mental stamina, more mental fortitude, more mental resilience. And it's just teaching me problem-solving skills, and those same problem-solving skills and that same patience that it's teaching me can be applied to life. And honestly, programming has given me a new outlook on life, because life is always going to throw problems at you, and you just have to come up with solutions to them. I also got some New Balance shoes today, because I'm going to be running my first 10K trail run on 13th, which is on Friday the 13th. So I got some New Balance trail running shoes. I signed up for a 10K trail run. They also had a half marathon trail run, so 21.1 kilometers, but I just ran a half marathon on the 7th. So I thought 6 days, running like less than a week in between running 21K, that's maybe going to be a little bit too much for my legs. I've never done a trail run in my life, so I'm not sure how tiring it's going to be. It's going to be like probably hilly terrain, rocky terrain. So I think it's better to just start with a 10K, be more mindful, and then see how it goes. If it's good, then I can, build up on that approach. And I just want to speak on that as well, that sports, endurance sports, and fitness has been such a beautiful and positive outlet for me. If it wasn't for the gym, if it wasn't for now picking up running, I don't know where I would be in life, to be honest. Like, man, to get a little bit heavy and deep here, like fitness has been such a big cornerstone, such a key pillar to my sobriety. And even while I was using substances, if it wasn't for fitness, I would, like lately when I relapsed on benzodiazepines last November, if it wasn't for me, the gym, I would have probably started drinking again. And that's probably been my biggest vice, alcohol. Luckily, I'm over 600 days sober from that, because I used to love mixing alcohol and benzos and smoking weed. But man, if I was mixing everything together, then I really don't know where I would be in life. So fitness has been such a positive outlet for me. I'm falling in love with running. I want to start training for triathlons as well. I want to start biking next. Then I want to start swimming as well. I want to start mixing everything together. And I'm going to have to come up with a proper training plan for that as well. And then I want to look up some run clubs. I want to see if there's like triathlon training groups or something, because it's nice to try. I have the motivation and the discipline to train by myself, but I would also like to be part of a community and not just be a lone wolf. I feel like it would make training a lot better. I feel like it would make life a lot more fulfilling. As I've said in my previous videos, I think I need to live a more multifaceted life. I've been kind of isolating myself now, which is good because I've had to get my life back on track, right? And especially in the beginning, the first few months, man, the first month after quitting benzodiazepines, life was not easy. It was rough, but now 2 months benzodiazepine free, things are getting better through my studies and showing up with intention and showing up with mindfulness. I'm truly discovering who I am for the first time in my life. It's been so long since I've been fully sober from every substance. Last time was 2023 that I can recall. So now it's just, it's baffling to me and a little bit shocking that I'm here in Helsinki, the city where I was born. I'm half Finnish, Puoleksi suomalainen, for those of you that didn't know. And being in Helsinki, being in Finland for the first time in almost a decade, if not over a decade, yeah, over a decade actually, is living here and like visiting, like after almost a decade of not being here, it's amazing. It's truly transforming my life. It just takes showing up for yourself and just it requires repetition. When I quit cigarettes, I haven't smoked nicotine or cigarettes for over 3 years now. It took me so many attempts to quit, hundreds if not thousands of attempts since I was a teenager, saying, I'm going to quit, stop for a few days, pick up a cigarette again. It took a long time. It took a long time for me to quit cigarettes. Before this 3-year attempt, the longest I had gone was just 1 year over with nicotine. But then when COVID happened, I started smoking again. And then I kept on smoking until that last attempt, which was 3+ years ago. And as I said, I found a relationship with God. And I feel like truly having a higher power, or believing in a higher power, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, and believing in something that's greater than yourself, gives you so much more strength. And for the first time in my life, I can say that I'm living in alignment. I truly believe that I'm living in alignment with my highest self. And I couldn't tell you that before, truly. Now with learning programming, with finding God, with working to get into university, and like falling in love with learning and programming, it's just like, man, I'm becoming a completely different person. And I truly feel like that's what you need to do when you try to quit substances, when you try to quit addictions, when you try to quit substance abuse. You need to change facets and aspects of your life, because you truly have to become a different person if you don't want to fall back into the same patterns. It's one thing to quit a substance, but if you're living your life exactly the same way that you were prior to like quitting, if you're living the exact same routines and lifestyle that you were prior to quitting, and the only thing you did was remove the substance, and you might fall back into the same old patterns. So it's important to pick up new hobbies, pick up new interests, surround yourself maybe in a different environment or a different friend group, depending on your situation, because sometimes other people can be a negative influence on you. And that's why I've grown so much these last few months, is because I've literally been living in solitude. And that has given me so much insight and so much time to think about myself and analyze my life and analyze my mistakes. I think, where do I want to be in 5 years, 10 years from now? What do I want my future to look like? All this time alone has given me so much time to think. And it's good, but at the end of the day, as I said, I need to also find community now going forward. So training with, I think I'm going to find that through like physical endeavors, run club, maybe a triathlon club. I want it to be centered around fitness because I have no interest in going to bars. I have no interest in partying. I have no interest in nightlife necessarily. You know, I'm a relatively boring person. Right now my life just revolves around learning how to program and coding, then it revolves around fitness, and then like mindfulness habits such as meditation. And in previous videos I mentioned my frustration. I felt like I was ashamed. I was a little bit regretful about my life, but I'm going to play you guys a clip now.
A useful state of mind which, if one adopts it, makes everything much easier, which is to accept reality as it is and to try not to regret the past and try to improve the situation. And the reason I say it is because it's so hard to adopt it. It's so easy to think, oh, like some bad past decision or bad stroke of luck, something happened, something's unfair, and you can just it's so easy to spend so much time thinking like this. While it's just so much better and more productive to say, okay, things are the way they are, what's the next best step? And I find that whenever I do this myself, everything works out so much better. But it's hard, it's a constant struggle with one's emotion. And that's why I mention it to you. Perhaps some of you will adopt it yourself. This is a reminder to adopt this mindset as best as one can. And also a reminder for myself, constant struggle.
I think accepting reality the way it is and trying not to dwell on the past, trying not to ruminate on your past mistakes and living in that negative headspace and having those negative thought patterns or those negative loops is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. Because then you're asking yourself what the next best step is, like Ilya Sutskever said in that clip. Because that way you will change your life, and you have the power to change your life. No matter what your past or your life looks like, you have the power to change, and we're all so much more capable than we give ourselves credit for. It's a lot easier said than done, but if you show up for yourself intentionally, and you really show up for yourself day in and day out, no matter the situation, you're going to see progress. And there's no use in ruminating over past mistakes or dwelling in the past. You can use that as motivation, as a learning lesson to change your future and shape your future through the actions you make today. And I often also, like I said in the last video, when I'm studying now, I would often think, why didn't I come to this realization in the past? Why couldn't I have just figured this out like 10 plus years ago? Why didn't I seek psychiatric help a decade ago or even longer ago and get diagnosed with ADHD? For those of you that don't know, I actually did get tested for ADHD twice when I was a kid, but I passed 2 of those tests. So I never thought there was anything wrong with me later on when people were like, oh, you should maybe seek professional help, things like that. But everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. It's up to us what to make of it. If I hadn't gone through everything that I've gone through in life, I wouldn't be in this position where I am at right now in life. And like I said, for the first time in my life, I truly, truly feel like I'm living in alignment. So it's a beautiful feeling. And I need to learn to be more mindful and not, I said in a previous running vlog, I have this rage inside me, like this, a little bit of a rage, a little bit of like a fire that's burning inside me that I need to make up for lost time. I need to make up for lost time. But I got to be more mindful of that. It's a good source of fuel, but it's also toxic. I don't need to try and force things. I don't need to try and speed run my way through life. I just need to show up intentionally, show up daily for myself, be more mindful, be more intentional with what I focus on, what I consume, media, food, lifestyle. And I'm living a pretty darn good lifestyle, I would say right now. I live a pretty healthy and pretty simple lifestyle. And that's what really brings me joy, is doing the hard work, especially when I don't feel like it. And I said in that my last running vlog that the magic that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. And now through coding and just like forcing myself to show up, I'm finding so much beauty and I'm finding so much personal and intellectual growth in it. And it's so true what they say, strong body, strong mind. Having those two in synergy complement each other. Physical activity complements the mind complements physical activity. And just living in alignment with God as well. I'm not going to preach like, oh, you need to find Jesus or you need to find God. Live your life the way you see fit, but try to be the best version of yourself. That's all I'll say. And man, I'm excited for the future. And there's going to be tough days, life is not sunshine and rainbows, but as I said, showing up for yourself is going to go a long way. Mindfulness is going to go a long way. And that's what I also need to remind myself of. I'm not perfect by any means, but I've experienced so much growth in the last few months, and sobriety is the best thing that's happened to me. And I can truly say that I have no intention of going back. I have no intention of being in situations where I'm even tempted to be around alcohol and things like that. Like I said, I live a simple lifestyle. I like to study, I like to do physical activities, I like to go to the gym, and I like to stay inside in the evenings, to be honest. I have no intention of going to bars, going to parties, going to clubs, going to raves or festivals. None of that interests me. I would rather just sign up for 10K races, half marathons, work my way to getting into an Ironman. Just that disciplined lifestyle. For me, discipline is freedom. That might not look like that for you. You might have other interests, other hobbies in life, and that's completely okay. But this is what's working for me. So, yeah, that's really going to end it. This was unscripted, just raw, authentic talks. I think going forward, these are the videos that I kind of want to make. I prefer just talking to the camera, just having my thoughts spill out. I like scripted videos sometimes, but then I feel like I have to kind of play a little bit of a character. It's just it's not the same. I want these videos. This is just a video diary for myself, and hopefully it inspires other people that are struggling as well. Because if I can do it, so can you. And there's people that have gone through worse struggles than me, and they've accomplished more than me, and they're my inspiration as well. So I feel like if more people were just raw, authentic, and open on social media and just in life in general, the world could be a better place, because we all have our own struggles. It might not be addiction, it might not be substance abuse, but everyone struggles, and you never know what someone else is going through. So mindfulness, being kind, and just having an open and loving heart goes a long way, because you can change your life. I mean, you can change your life, but you can change somebody else's life if you live in authenticity, and if you're living in alignment and striving to be that best version and the highest version of yourself. So yeah. Anyways, that's going to be it, and catch you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be, but I will film that 10K trail run on Friday. I'll bring my GoPro, because that way I have you guys are running with me, I think that's what went wrong in the last half marathon. I got a little bit of a later time than my first half marathon, which is 1 minute 53 minutes and 37 seconds. I got 1:55:09, but I didn't use the GoPro to film, so I didn't have the spirit of you guys with me. So I'll film the 10K trail run, and it's going to be beautiful to film, to be honest. I think the forest, the trail is going to be nice, man. So I'll catch you guys probably on Friday for the next video. I'm going to tone down the content as well. I'm going to only do Bible reading Psalms probably for the shorts, and just really focus more on my programming and my studies, because I have a lot to do, and I also just want to get locked into academia, because I want to build my own projects as well. So there's so much I want to do, but instead of telling you guys all about it, let me just show you through these weekly videos. Actions speak louder than words. So peace.